blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted,
because
and
if
you know
both marksmen
I'm
can't do
leaving.
anything,
I'ma take what's
game's pretty
mine
much
with
over
the
for
webs
either
I'm
of
weaving.
the sides.
And look at that, 4 sprints on the side of Philippines. Either they really want to run away or they really want to chase for the win. This is going to be a marathon. This is fitting of the SEA Games.
Well, based on my composition of my ideology of how the team fight is going to go, the biggest problem was dealing with the Kufra, right? Guess what? Kufra can't stop a sprint. Having 4 sprints not allowing Team Indonesia for the KCC is brilliant. This is so smart. Because of this 4 sprint, it completely one-up the team fight just because they are able to kite Team Indonesia a little bit easier now.
I like the draft. I like the spells, but right now we have to look at how they execute things because we have a glimpse of the gold lane just now. I would say Gonzalez is taking a little bit too much damage for his own liking, but in the end, it's not really a lane won or loss. It's more of going neutral. Same thing that we can say with R7 as well as Soto, having these 2 very tanky heroes that will heal back up. It's as you would like to say, a battle of the wet noodles.
Yep, a battle of the wet noodles, I guess. Seems like R7 is going to come on top momentarily for now. Eventually, Soto is going to be getting free average, but you can see Philippines are ready to set up for the Soto, and they are already available. Albert not showing himself as well, looking for the steal. He is going to try and wriggle for retribution the steal, and he gets it across the wall. Del Rosario tried to go for the blowout, mistimes the Soto, and that is going to be Team Indonesia going to be pushing back onto a Team Philippines. Beautiful, beautiful executions.
Yes, and Vin, we saw that. Anyways, right now, Team Indonesia, they know what Team Philippines is doing. To be fair, Team Philippines is showing a lot of their hand, and they have to be careful of that. If you want to secure the turtle, that's great, but make sure you have priority because they did not know that Albert was there, and
yeah,
it was a very casual steal from him.
That was a very good prediction from Albert as well, knowing that they are anticipating that to actually happen, and there was just so much trust on him to actually come on top, and now CW completely bullying out the carry in the lane. You can see Vin is going to be threatening alongside, so they are going to be able to secure the gold plating for CW up top. So this is going to inject him very, very hard. But here comes the real manipulation, putting Gonzalez in a awkward situation. They are going to threaten his withdrawal, but they will focus on Villaluna and Gonzalez as well, getting sniped up from the side. Team Indonesia gets a very easy 2-kill takedown. However, the retaliation is going to be in the name of Del Rosario. Imam as well going to be looking for the refrags, and that is going to be Sans and Win taken down.
And right now, look at Team Indonesia. They're having the gold lead. Part of it is because CW is winning his lane hard because he has 1 level ahead off of Gonzalez, and Gonzalez having died once, and looking at CW having 1 kill, getting all those juicy gold plating, he's going to scale up very, very well. So they have to start prioritizing, making sure that CW goes down, and they're going to initiate onto him, but unfortunately the stun doesn't go through.
Oh, great maneuvers coming from CW as well, expecting the Holy Battle setup, and because of that, they are not going to be able to do anything about this. CW hands down winning the gold lane. This is going to be a huge resource fund coming in towards Indonesia, but he cannot afford to die at all because once it's down, Team Philippines is going to be able to bounce back. However, now, as you can see, Team Indonesia, they are going to be setting up for the second turtle. Albert this time will be the starting things off instead, and Team Philippines not even bother to contest, maybe even setting up Soto for information.
Now, looking at this, there's no way for Team Philippines to realistically steal this away, especially looking at the top lane. They're focusing on to CW, and CW is able to escape-ish, still managed to get pinned down, and finally goes down to carry, and Vin unable to protect his own gold laner Sans, making sure that he gets the return kill onto the Rafaela overall. In terms of amount of people killed, that was equal, but I would say it heavily favors Philippines.
Yep, great intent there coming from Team Philippines as well. They needed that kill so bad to actually equalize both the economy of both Gonzalez and CW, and because of that, they are still back in the game. However, great read as well, knowing that Team Indonesia has 4 men down towards the turtle, and Vin tried his best to salvage the situation, but it's not gonna happen. Meanwhile, down towards mid, seems like there is gonna be a little bit of a stalemate happening as it is going to be both teams waiting on how they're doing turtle, and that's exactly what happened for Team Philippines, and that's just how they're going to force fight. But here comes the force fight coming in right from the get-go. Team Indonesia going for Tyrant's Rage. They forced the issue, and just like that, Team Philippines, they were able to defend the carry and get Vin as well as Sans. Team Indonesia getting a little bit too aggressive with the play, gets heavily punished for that.
Again, the focus is on the gold lane, and this is the situation that I was afraid of, that the Kufra is highly effective. An amazing hero, can cancel out a lot of dashes, but the moment you make a mistake, you can't run away, especially when you've already used your flicker. Right now, Team Philippines, 6 minutes into the game, they are grouping up. They are looking like they have enough of the laning phase. Now they're looking for fights, or they're going to force out Indonesia out of the turrets and secure it for themselves.
Yeah, this is going to be even more heavy emphasis onto a CW's position. You can see Team Indonesia just babysitting, making sure that he doesn't get hot on dived on, because once he dies a single more time, Team Philippines is going to completely roll over their composition. But as of yet, now third turtle coming into play. Team Indonesia still having a slightly in terms of economy. Vin going for the setup. He wants to go for a catch. Can he cancel the hurricane? The heavy speed? Unfortunately cannot. The turtle will be secured. The holy baptism keeping Vin in charge. Tyrant's Rage under be trying to set up before dying for his spell. But here comes the burst from CW. They take down Archive and they are going to push forward. Team Indonesia just doesn't have damage. But no, I hold that thought for now. A big four-man dawning light turns the tide for Team Philippines. And this time, Team Indonesia is going to have their backs against the wall as they get turned around, losing 3 members.
Interesting interaction where the heavy spin actually pushed Kufra away, unable to engage, and even when he managed to catch someone out, it's just Del Rosario. And look at Imam as well as Gonzalez having the free time to hit everyone that they want to.
Yep, compared to the before patch of Archive when it was called Hurricane Dance, you technically can cancel it, but after the rework onto his Archive, it's pretty much very, very difficult to cancel it when it comes to that situation, just because it is a slight pixel bigger compared to before.
That's the difference. When you're dancing, you can get knocked up, but when it's a heavy spin, you're just gonna keep your foot planted and keep on spinning.
Yep, that's going to be the radius of the heavy spin increase for sure. But nevertheless, now Team Philippines, they have to find a different approach to... Team Indonesia, they have a different approach to actually deal with the heavy spin now, knowing that the Kufra is no longer an alternative. Maybe it was intended, maybe it was unintended as well, but these interactions are very, very minuscule, but it is very necessary if you want to deal in terms of composition. So it's a great enlightenment to actually remind us that the heavy spin now is not like the Hurricane Dance before.
I would say it's a huge interaction, because the moment he sees Vin goes in, he can pop his own heavy spin just to cancel out any kind of engagement.
Agreed.
Basically making so that it's always a 4v5, but Vin, we saw how in the previous game with the Franco unable to do anything, but then became the star of the show. So anything is possible. But right now, I feel like Team Philippines will win the majority of the team fight. So Team Indonesia, if they do want to make a team fight, they have to make sure that Gonzalez or Imam is shut down first. And look at the damage. Villa Luna almost got taken down by CW.
Agreed. It looks like they're going to try to threaten the lot again. Team Indonesia have won out in all their alternative trades with the Retribution. This time, Team Philippines not even going to contest it as well. Xavier comes in, tries to zone them out. Unfortunately, not going to be able to do too much. And that is going to be the Lord easily take in the hands of Team Indonesia, as Team Philippines knows that they cannot contest it once again. Soto try to go for split push pressure, not going to be able to do too much. Villa Luna, however, getting picked off from CW. And this is the power of the Beatrix from the get-go.
Yeah, Beatrix, amazing damage, a lot of range. And right now, Team Indonesia, they really have to look at CW to really dish out the damage. Sans has just to use his real manipulation to make sure he has an easier time to actually hit his targets. Albert now managing to get the blade armor, going to be able to handle this carry a little bit better, but I would not say too much. Team Philippines, they did let the Lord go, but again, it's not a Luminous Lord. It's not that big of a deal.
Yep, seems like here comes the attempt as well. The Hurricane, the heavy spin comes in, locks Vin into place. The tower is going to get a free kill on it down. That is just going to be Team Philippines benefiting from this kill. Team Indonesia not going to be able to do too much, and seems like the strategy of poking from Indonesia is working out. But if you get caught out like that, poke or not, is not going to be able to do too much, as Team Philippines going to get a little bit more space to push forward. Now, as the game progresses, there's just so much big control. CW is forced to actually join up to the fight to actually contribute in terms of damage, and this is so very lacking. However, Solo's gonna get a pick off onto a CW, unkilled so far, as he is gonna be able to help Team Philippines come over top, and wow, that is all happening. Gonzalez is having free farms all the way to up top side.
Good coordination between Soto as well as Imam, putting on the damage to CW to make sure that they get the kill. Right now, Vin focusing on Gonzalez, but right now the Luna is there trying to help him out. Vin just making sure that the turret stays alive. Good job on him, but look at this. Team Philippines, I would almost say that they just won the draft, because right now, even Soto could basically 1v1 against CW. 1v2. CW doesn't have enough damage to take down Soto as of yet. And right now, if he just keeps on scaling, it's going to be a big problem. Philippines is really controlling the map, and Team Indonesia is running out of options.
This is why it's so risky to play Team Indonesia's draft. They have to rely heavily on CW's damage to actually win on team fights. And if CW can't do anything about it, things are going to get turned for the worst. But Team Philippines, they are playing a little bit safe as well, as they will slowly chip away at what Team Indonesia is going to be doing. Economy-wise, they are still trading 50-50s. But as of yet, it is all about the poke potential. Team Philippines, however, is going to be a little bit more comfortable compared to before now, considering that Gonzalez has had the very easy time farming. So eventually, they are going to be able to deal with all these tanky compositions that Team Indonesia's composition. And likewise, coming from Imam as well, which is slowly scaling in towards a burst potential to deal with both Suns as well as CW.
Right now, what Team Indonesia can do is actually bait things out. Use Albert as well as R7 to bait out Del Rosario's skills. Like right now, he already used his heavy spin. That is a big cooldown. They should use this time to actually try and get kills. But this is the thing that they have to replicate. Once it's down, then they can go for it. But look at the damage coming out from Gonzalez. Albert has to go out because it's a little bit too much. Gonzalez level 13 right now, and it looks like a little bit too much that Team Indonesia, they're gonna have to give this away if they're gonna contest it. What are they gonna do? Sans opening the real world manipulation, focusing on the back line, and R7 is gonna be taken down. Del Rosario is going down to CW. CW able to dish out as much damage as he can. That's the double kill, but right now he has basically no HP, and look at that. Gonzalez focusing and making sure that he gets another kill. Team of Philippines winning a lot on that team fight.
Oh, that was huge coming from both of these teams as well. I feel like Team Indonesia, they played it as best as they could in that situation, even though Albert was chunked out rather early. But because of this trades coming in, losing only Vin and R7, that puts Team Indonesia in a much more comfortable spot. But you can see that CW is pretty much the biggest concern for Team Philippines, right? If you do not kill him, he will be able to trade off kills after kills. So as of yet, Gonzalez is going to be very happy that he does have the damage, but this Lord plays a very important factor for Indonesia. They can only win against Team Philippines if they're fighting when the Lord disrupts them. That big storm early on from the Lord kind of messed up Team Philippines' momentum, and because of that, Team Indonesia was able to come out on top of the fight.
Yeah, right now, just protect CW. That's what you gotta do. Just protect CW. As long as he has enough space, I feel like he can almost out-damage Gonzalez, especially if he can outrange with the runner hits. Hitting Gonzalez, then they can eventually win the fight. So right now, Team Indonesia, they have to have this awareness. Sans taking a lot of damage from the Dawning Light, and Vin looking to engage.
Yep, Soto is pretty much the only one that can completely mess up CW's composition. As you can see, the Uranus as well as Soto is already split pushing across the map. This is going to be a 4v4 fight down towards the Lord Pit, but it is going to be a mirror matchup. Both sides doesn't exactly want to take too much risk, as Team Philippines going for the bait as well. The Dawning Light comes in, chips out towards CW, but CW still relatively healthy, so it's going to be a-okay. So he is going to be getting a little bit farms here and there to push up the lanes, but the Lord down towards half HP. Team Indonesia, they scout this out. Are they going to go for the reset? The storm comes in there. Rosario going to get caught out. Baiting out the heavy spin. Nope, not going to be committed yet. So it's going to be the resets again from Team Philippines as they try to catch them out of position. Indonesia Vin going to go for the pull as well. He's going to go in for a setup. Dawning Light committed as well. That is going to be a big major spell going down. But Indonesia still a little bit afraid to commit to the fight, knowing that Soto may be coming from the backlines up top.
The mechanical matchup between Del Rosario as well as Vin is crazy. Whenever Vin engages, even Del Rosario is trying to have the patience not to use his heavy spin. Instead, try to cancel off with his first skill. So overall, both of these tank heroes is using the best of their abilities, challenging each other to make sure that they're gonna bait out mistakes. And this is gonna be the name of the game for this team fight going in.
Well,
who will be baited?
Very, very risky. The Storm doesn't connect on Team Philippines. They're very aware about that. And Team Indonesia, they want to capitalize on this Lord Storm. The Lord is going to be there. But as of yet, Sam's trying to set up for the exit strats as well. But here comes the first round on. But it's only an Akai, and Team Indonesia going to be applying a little bit more pressure, waiting on the side lane fight as well, because Soto is going to be in the nearest position. But looks like they are going to force the issue as they go in for the catch. The Lord is going to be coming in. Who's going to get it as well? It seems like it's going to be Team Indonesia. But they return the favorites. Gonzalez takes on towards the tanks as well. Team Indonesia, they need to make a run for it. Villa Luna are going to be coming in as well. But R7 goes in for the defuse. Double kill coming in from Gonzalez. But he eventually falls off as the kite coming from Sans and CW. Just a little bit too strong. As now you can see R7 chipping away at the stone, trying to force them to back off. And CW wants to pick off as well. Another dollar that comes in. But CW from the side picks up bit by bit, snipes them from a range. And Soto goes in for the finish, leaving him alive. But Sans is going to be there. But R7, you need to help your compadres, and that is going to be a wipeout. Soto still going to be hanging on from side Team Philippines. He has the immortality. He's going to try to make an escape. The real motivation will finally catch up, and they get the full wipeout as Team Indonesia comes up on top with this fight.
Not only a wipeout, but the Lord is there as well. This is what we were talking about. They have to bait things out. Vin actually baiting out the heavy spin from Del Rosario, making sure that he does not have that crowd control. And look at how R7 just focuses on Gonzalez. Indonesia right now, they have a lot of map pressure just off of that one team fight. Right now, the Lord is pushing in. And Team Indonesia, they are in prime position to win this game. The Akai is in front, trying to make sure that the Lord doesn't actually enter the base. This is a good situation. He's trading his own HP, and right now making sure that he pushes everyone away. I'm pretty sure he wanted R7 for himself. Unfortunately, the angle was not there.
Oh, that was huge coming in from Team Philippines. That was huge coming from Indonesia, because they needed to win that fight. But at the same time, you can see that the damage outcome from Gonzalez is just so very, very huge. And the only thing that is stopping him from doing even more damage is pretty much Vin's bouncing ball, stopping the second skill steps of Gonzalez. And every time he is willing to trade his life to get a little bit of an edge to allow CW to pick off apart. And you can see this is very, very difficult for Team Indonesia. CW cannot miss any single shots. But now you can see Villaduna getting poked as well as the real world Malaysia to isolate the fight. Team Indonesia, they are going to focus on inhibitors and back off. Very, very disciplined plays are in the order right now.
Amazing understanding from Indonesia. We can see every single time they think of making any kind of trades. And that's going to be the word of the day. Trades. They're gonna sacrifice one thing for another. And look at that. He already baited out the Akai ult. So Team Indonesia, that is a big ultimate if they want to exploit it, if they want to engage. This is their chance. Soto on the side managed to find Vin there. Indonesia, they're really using their skills in terms of cooldowns to really force Philippines into a corner. So Team Indonesia, right now they have the advantage. As long as they can manage to actually shut down Gonzalez, then the amount of damage is going to be heavily limited. Imam, yes, he can do a lot of damage, but not as much as Gonzalez. So as long as they get that, they're going to win.
Agreed. R7 keeping tabs onto Villa Luna's position. The Lord is going to be talking as well. But here comes the heavy speed, catching on the Vin. But Vin, he is a tank. He's going to be able to disengage. But look at this. He's going for the setup, waiting for the catch. They catch on Soto, but he is going to be able to get out of the situation. Real Win Mission was baited out, but Team Philippines, they don't really want to fight into this yet. And CW is going to force the issue, take down Villa Luna. And you can see Gonzalez not going to be able to do too much. He's going to get caught out eventually, but still, they are kind of trying to bait out of the awkward positioning that they were forced in. Team Indonesia making the right call to force the fight rather than focus contesting on the Lord.
But Indonesia is in dangerous territories. Gonzalez is going to get choked down. Even though he has Wind of Nature, but he cannot deal with magic damage. Killing spree. Give it over to R7. And look at this. Imam is trying to defend.
Wow.
Vin isolating Soto. Soto is going to go down. Vin survived with a slither of help right now. Team Indonesia, they can secure the Lord and eventually push for the win.
That is just genius plays coming from Team Indonesia. As soon as Win lands on top of Gonzalez, Gonzalez completely lose a lot of his damage output, and you can see immediately there was nothing much they could do. Gonzalez is so afraid to fight back, knowing that Vin may be threatening him any time of position. But this is going to be a very, very difficult one for Team Philippines to actually make a comeback if they make a mistake. But so far, Team Indonesia, they're in prime position to take the Lord. As you can see, the Uranus coming from R7 already making a lot of work to split push the sides of lanes and treasure if Team Philippines tries to jeopardize to contest the Lord.
The Uranus damage should not be underestimated because again, the Wind of Nature can only immune against physical damage for about 2.5 seconds. But the damage coming in from the side of Indonesia is magic damage coming in from Sands as well as R7. Right now, they're toying with the idea of getting this Lord. Team Philippines as well as Team Indonesia. Indonesia is baiting it out and Team Philippines is looking for an angle for them to engage. Soto is going in from behind and right now looking at Team Indonesia, they're actually getting clocked in. They're going to focus on Soto. Is that the target that they want?
Smart coming from Team Indonesia. You can see they're hesitating and focusing on Soto as well. Soto's pretty much the only one that can kill CW from a backline. And as you can see, CW, they were thinking whether or not do they kill off Soto from the get-go, take away CW's concern, and then focusing on the fight. And Team Philippines is still deciding whether they want to make a play. Seems like it is going to be concealed plays going for backline, trying to catch on CW, but unfortunately it was red from Team Indonesia, so they are going to be the A-OK. Back off, but here comes their reply as well as they try to go in for the concealed plays, but it is still a threat. The Lord is going to be resetted for now, but Team Philippines has to concede aggression because the waves are shoved in.
Yeah, this is difficult whenever your inhibitor turrets are down. Team Indonesia, they're really controlling the tempo. R7 is waiting for a flanking position. Look at the Lord. Only 2 bars left. Team Philippines going in front. Can they secure it? Right now, real woman manipulation has been used. There Rosario is there. Alvin is there. Alvin is able to secure it for himself. Imam gets a kill. But look at the back line. Managing to get CW. But it's only
he needs a run.
His immortality. Soto securing the kill for himself. He is going to pop his own immortality. Look at Imam as well as Gonzalez. Both of them virtually full HP. Even though Indonesia secured the Lord, but they are still in this game. They still want to push. The minion is alive and they're going to secure the mid lane turrets.
Oh no, it's not over yet. Team Philippines, they know they've got the upper hand. 40 seconds on CW. Gonzalez is in free reign. They know they can close out this game because they've got the tank killer in their hands. They do get the good Albert. He's going to get pinned in. He saw the winter truck, but that's not going to do him any good. The real woman manipulation is going to come in. However, look at this. R7 is dragging the minutes to try and stall this aggression to buy time for CW's resurrection. And Team Philippines, they will get back that minion control as they try to shove in towards the middle lane. Gonzalez looking for the opportunity as Sans will focus on going for the wave clear. R7 is back in the recall as well, but the inhibitor is quickly very focused on as well. Sans getting focused out. He won't lose his life. And now once again, R7 trying to finish off the minutes, but eventually Win is going to be spawned out as well. CW on 1 second left from the side of Indonesia. He's going to be back in action, but they lost all their defense. It's only CW and Win as the tank killer will continue to push forward. 4v2 situation. This is going to be a very difficult one for the Indonesia defense. Then it becomes CW takes a huge chunk. This is going to be the GG push potentially, but now they're throwing their bodies just to defend against this, but they're just too strong. Gonzalez still has immortality, chipping away towards the minutes, but the empowered minutes just spawned. But can CW do anything about this?
Right now, Team Indonesia, they're defending hard, and Team Philippines, is this a situation where they will overstay their welcome? They have their umbrella, they can heal. The minions are here. Gonzalez, you're going too deep. You're going too deep, but they still managed to get CW. And look at this, Albert is proxying the minion. The minion is down in the mid lane, but look at Top. Top is still pushing. And right now, Team Philippines, they don't need to go back. A lot of the minions are pushing Team Philippines. It looks like this is their game to win. Sans is there. He has immortality. He will try to stop this. Real manipulation has been popped. But look at this. What can they do? Team Philippines got their second victory on this best fight.
It is so unfortunate for Team Indonesia, but what a dancing to. I would be dancing to back at the game. And I just want to say, this has been 3 matches already. And crowd controls. And speaking of crowd controls,